So if smokers can't or won't quit, what's the ethical thing to do? I think it's pretty obvious to those attending this conference. Dr. Michael Russell, again, British Medical Journal. People smoke for the nicotine, but they die from the tar. 1976, we're now 40 years from him making that statement.
We are still very early into this game, and what I said on the radio is that this is not the end of the trilogy. This is the end of the first part of the trilogy. We're in chapter 3 or chapter 4, and we've got a long way to go. If we look at the numbers as far as who's vaping, it's primarily a millennial-driven business. And the millennials, just like every other generation, is getting older, so the millennials right now are somewhere in the young 20s to the mid-30s. They're the majority of the marketplace. You're going to see generational differences shift just a little bit. You're going to have more Gen Xers. The Gen Xers are somewhere in their mid-30s to about 50 right now. This is going to be a huge, huge growth.
In the early 2000s, and was faced with the fact that the government came at me and wanted to shut me down. My company was called Smoking Everywhere. I was the largest e-cigarette manufacturer and producer in the United States at the time, and was facing approximately, give or take a few years, about 40 years in jail due to the fact that we were selling an illegal drug delivery device, because nicotine at that point in time was considered a drug or a medicine. I was faced at that point in time to do two things. A, stop and potentially still deal with the consequences of selling an illegal drug device, or fight the U.S. government, the FDA, the Justice Department, the Department of Health and Human Services. I decided, potentially because of lack of intelligence, let's just fight the U.S. government and see what happens. I fought and defeated them in 2010. At that point in time, e-cigarettes were allowed to be sold. Because my mother is Dutch, I also carry a Dutch passport. I came to the Netherlands because she was battling cancer. When I got to the Netherlands, I found out that the Netherlands, the e-cigarette in 2012 was banned. It was actually, just like the US, an illegal drug delivery device, and nicotine was considered a medicine or a drug. So I sued the Netherlands and won in 2012. It took me about 6 months. The Netherlands is a small country, so we were certainly prepared after the United States. And sued the Netherlands. We changed the law in the Netherlands, which gave me the ability to then attack the European Union. I went to the European Union for the first time in Brussels in February of 2013.
This is not fun and games. The corrupt system, this is life and death.
Billion people dying from smoking-related diseases.
70% of current smokers want to quit.
I've smoked for 40 years.
50 years.
Using the patch.
Nicotine patches or chews.
Proven smoking cessation methods
should be promoted.
It hasn't helped.
The majority of them fail.
That makes no sense.
My whole life, I've been told that smoking is bad. Smoking will kill you. Smokers are stupid. I pretty much thought that smoking was a thing of the past, part of history. I was wrong. I was shocked when I found out that 1 billion people are projected to die early from smoking this century. I was even more surprised when I found out that many people were using new ways to quit, but that those ways were being banned in more and more countries. What people need is a compelling story that gets them emotional and helps them understand it in a visual way, and I think that's the difference.
Thank you, Aaron.